persecuting us more than everybody else. Like, if they don't want us to be here, then let us have a permit. If they don't want us to, sorry, that doesn't make sense. If they don't want us to not be a protest or whatever it is, if they want us to not be a protest, then give us a permit and we'll be a festival. But you won't. You won't give us a permit, and that makes it a fucking protest alone. Plus, in this country, all the laws and all the horrible things, they just put a guy away for 10 months for 85 grams.
Yep.
We have a hell of a lot to protest. So don't try and tell us that our political opinions and our political actions are not valid. All of these Green Party people and regular politicians in Vancouver, and we have the Vancouver Pride Parade officials speaking out saying, "Oh well, Pride is still a protest, but they're not a protest." Give me a break. Who are you to diminish our political action? We've been working on this project for 25 years, and we still haven't got the things that we've been asking for. This 420 project, 25, baby.
We've been working on trying to end prohibition for about 100 years.
We've been working on that. We've been working on that larger project for a long time. But this specific project, it has always been and will always be a protest until the laws change, and that's what makes it a protest. It's a protest if we say it is. It doesn't matter what band we have.
Protesting.
The mayor says on the radio today, this is not a protest. This will be the last year for pot sales. We're going to have like a trade fair maybe, but this is the last year. And I'm like,
trade fair.
Who do you think you are? You're only the fucking mayor. You're not the guy that makes these decisions about where 420 happens and when that happens. We make those decisions, and we'll decide when we're done.
We're the people.
I'd love to be done protesting. I'm going to cry and sing and dance. And holy shit, if we ever, I will. I'm going to cry, man. And I'm not crying. That's my gauge to know whether or not we got real legalization or not. Because we don't, because I'm not crying yet. And I'll be
You've cried quite a bit.
Joy
I cried when I smoked some of that LP weed.
Oppression of this plant and the people that choose it.
When they pulled him into the back of a wagon on July 1st and literally pried us off of him, we were all crying.
Yeah, I know.
That was kind of.
But we weren't crying for joy because legalization had happened.
No.
And that's what's going to happen for me. I know because I've had a taste of it. I've felt it when I've heard different announcements about what they're doing with the laws. And when they actually give us legalization that makes us free like we're supposed to be and respect us as human beings and respect this plant, then I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry my eyes out like a little schoolgirl and be so happy about that.
What happens when you put me in the hot seat?
Major tears of joy.
Already like pulling things apart.
Oh, Johnny's breaking
you got
shit.
the microphone apart.
That microphone.
That's why I'm in the hot seat.
I got tools over there if you want to fix it.
Hi guys.
So
there's a lot of joints up there. Can we?
There's a lot of drama.
But
you know what?
How many in each
Every
bag?
year this happens with 420, and there's a lot of drama. Last year they banned us from the park completely.
Yep.
Wait a second here. Last year they said we left so much garbage there was insane, but
no, that was the year before.
Pictures from my apartment going, there was no garbage.
Yeah.
You guys didn't pick it up.
I know. It's a lie.
Yeah. And then once you didn't, people came in and made a mess.
We are undoubtedly the most responsible event that happens.
We always pick up all the garbage.
Always.
One thing I have to say is even when we did the last 420 in downtown Vancouver, and I was staying at the hotel across the street, and the next day they had that big sun run, or had that big run. The mess left behind from that run was 10 times more of a mess that we left from 420. That morning I took pictures. It looked like we were out there with rakes cleaning, and we've been doing that as
every year for 25 years.
Every year for 25 years.
Yep.
We've always cleaned up after ourselves.
We always leave it cleaner than we find it.
And one of the biggest persons there, Dana's always there at the end. You're always there at the end. I always see certain people that are always at the bitter end. I'm always sleeping.
Well, we make sure as organizers, we make sure because we know we're going to get flack if we don't. We always leave it better than we find it.
I don't think it's as organized. I think it's as in the community, the cannabis community. We have a little bit more respect for the earth, for the ground, the stuff for the people around us and all that. The people that, we're not your average. If there was a big beer festival, can you imagine how bad it would be after that? Right? So,
if we really did ruin stuff, we would go all the extra effort required to fix it is what we would put into that.
We're going to extra lengths with the garbage this year too, because we really need to make sure that the garbage. There's going to be a lot more garbage probably. If there's a lot bigger crowd. So
definitely bigger garbage.
We just want to make sure that we have there. We're working with several teams. We've hired people to do the garbage stuff. So there's going to be a lot of good garbage.
I mean, it's like you guys are all out there too. So I mean, pick it up. Pick up the garbage.
Yeah, everybody takes away one more than they leave.
Everybody who's watching Pod TV, everybody who's involved with this, you guys all know. Just grab that piece of garbage.
Wherever you are, wherever you go, take away one more piece of garbage than you bring to a place, and the world would be a much better place.
Yes.
Yep.
On that
Yes.
note, I need to do.
I gotta
So
say,
you can see in front of us here, we have just my personal supply.
Got my joints for the day, so
I'm having problems over here. I don't have enough space. You know, I need a bigger table. Look
Yeah.
at how cramped I am here. Like, I don't
Johnny,
really
we're
have-
cramping
it's
him up
okay
here.
now.
that's all right. I'll give you a little
Yes. Neil has done an amazing job with his Holy Roller crew to
more. Holy Rollers do an amazing job.
to get all these amazing joints, and there are plenty of them. I'm holding my hands up so Carly can take a picture.
While we're doing that, I want to thank.
Should be a joint in the
I
picture.
do want to thank Weeds, Glass, and Gifts and the Medicinal Cannabis Dispensary and Cannabis Culture, Dirty Dave, Mama's Market, the Stock Market, Dr. Coffee for helping us out. Stock Market is a dispensary down way down West Broadway.
Wow, I didn't even know they.
2145.
3100 block or something.
3175 West Broadway.
I had all the numbers.
I'm pretty sure it's 3175 because it's the former location of Cannabis Culture.
That's right.
Yeah. Stock Market. Go and visit that place because the people who run it are awesome.
And go visit all those other sponsors that I mentioned as well. They all support us and make 420 happen and have for all these years. Many of them, in any case, Weeds and the Medicinal Cannabis Dispensary and Cannabis Culture certainly have been there since the beginning. And they make this happen and allow us to do what we do. And Mama's Market and Dirty Dave and the Stock Market and Dr. Coffee, they're new on board, but they deserve to be supported. They need to be supported. They're sticking their necks out. They're helping us do this protest and continue to change these bad laws.
Yep.
So, yeah, we really need to support these people.
We definitely do. Yes, please support everybody on that list. Weeds, Glass, and Gifts, Medicinal Cannabis Dispensary, Cannabis Culture, Dirty Dave, Mama's Market, The Stock Market, Dr. Coffee, and the Holy Rollers themselves, of course.
Hey.
Yeah. And I will take another bong toke here.
And I'll light a joint.
So the media has been going wild since the 420 Cypress Hill announcement, as they usually do. I mean, it always is big news. But, of course, by having a major act there, you know, Cypress Hill are cultural leaders in our cannabis culture, and they've been doing this since the early 90s, 91 or even 1990, maybe even earlier they got together, but their first album was 91. They are an amazing group of people, very, you know, a lot of their songs are about weed, so every time that they try and say, well, this is just some big act, it's not even, you know, you guys are just a festival, it's a fucking weed group.
Banned from radio for years.
Banned for radio.
They didn't want that weed.
Really? I didn't know that.
Too many cannabis references in their songs.
They do have a lot of weed references. And
Yeah,
just a
so
few,
to the
just a
Parks
few.
Board person that said we blew it by having Cypress Hill, I think she just needs to look at the lyrics and look at the track record and what these people have done in advocating for legalization to know
Yeah.
that this actually proves it is a protest.
They're a political band.
They're a very political band.
And, you know, they're definitely more political about weed than E40 last year. Like E40, though E40 definitely reps weed. He's like a hardcore smoker.
Yeah.
And same with Raekwon the year before. And
The chef cooking it up.
The chef. But, you know, they're not entirely known for weed. Cypress Hill is
Like when you
pretty
say
much
Cypress Hill, you think
like
weed.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's that weed band.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, like
Re-
no matter
really
who
the-
you are, that's what you think.
Yeah, more than any other band on the planet.
Like if I called my mom right now and was like, hey mom, Cypress Hill, she'd be like, oh, that weed band? I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Exactly.
No, all these comments
like,
are just
E40, she'd be like, "Is that a new
they're just
drug?"
nothing. They're coming from the peanut gallery. These people don't mean anything. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're gonna get as many people as we can to pay attention to what we're saying, and we're gonna say these laws are bad. Our politicians and our system is corrupt, and we're here to help you fix it. So, you know, for them all to say that, they said today on CKNW that we were a bunch of petulant children. That's what Linda Steele called us. Petulant children that are just a bunch of rule breakers.
She's married to a police
She's
officer.
married to a police officer. She loves her alcohol. I wonder how she would feel if it was on the other foot and it was alcohol that was being, you know, oppressed the way that cannabis is.
She doesn't
So-
understand that there was alcohol prohibition back in the day, probably.
That's it, eh?
She never experienced it, so it means nothing to her.
Yeah, and what
Right,
we're trying to
exactly.
point out is that we need public servants that respect the individual sovereignty of people, and you can't be prohibiting anything that people want to put into their bodies. All you can do is deal with people that hurt other people and do it in a just way. As for what people want to do with their own bodies and their own lives, it's not the government's business. It's not the business of any other group or business group or anybody else. We get to do what we want as free people unless we're hurting other people. And that's the message that we're trying to put out there. And that's a very, very important message in this crazy world that we live in right now, I'll tell you. So we're going to be doing 420 for a very long time still. There's no end in sight. We've got a lot to protest about, and we haven't even touched on the lack of access to medical patients, which, I mean, these are the sick and suffering Canadians that can't even get access to this life-saving medicine. So, you know, there's so much to protest about.
What about all the insurance companies that are not covering cannabis for medical patients, from ICBC to injured workers to people who are sick, for people who are on disability, all the people who are suffering from HIV or cancer, other diseases that are stuck on low income, that were designated to a DG, who now have to try and buy something from the legal market, but they can't afford it whatsoever, zero, and they're now sitting there out in the cold.
I know. The hypocrisy is just unbelievable.
So, I mean, it's about being able to find that system, and as the system's changing into a legal system, I'd like to see more coverage for these people.
Yep.
If you're on low income, shouldn't you give, and you're actually prescribed cannabis for your condition, shouldn't that be covered through the social service?
You should not be discriminated against because you choose to use a herb by people who are mostly using alcohol.
The system's going into a legalization, like I'm fighting WorkSafe BC to have cannabis covered for injured workers. We have different things happening in Ontario with WSIB now have a certain coverage and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, you've done some great work there, John.
ICBC and stuff like that too. There's no coverage for people when it comes to injury. With a legal system and how things are changing, I do believe this is going to be our next big fight, in getting these coverages for people who are suffering.
Yeah.
Because as it stands right now, we're going to all these clubs that were actually helping and generating and donating to all these people we're talking about.
Yeah.
And now you're taking that away from them.
That's right. There's a lot of people being hurt by this.
And we know that because with your harm reduction, a lot of people that I know, even from Victoria on the island, and this is happening right across the whole nation, people we know all around the world. I mean, now that you're taking away these places that we've been able to supply access for patients, at that time, a lot of people who were there were actually donating and helping these patients. Now we're not seeing that. These
so much lost.
Not sending out free weed to people who are suffering, are they?
No.
Are you?
No.
I don't know.
You can't.
Some are, but others can't.
Well,
It's very hard.
If you don't,
we don't see that.
I'm taking another bong toke. And
a lot of
this
these
bong
groups have
toke
suffered
is
pretty big losses. With our cannabis substitution project, one of our main donators of gummies had to stop donating because the dispensaries that were taking his products stopped taking them because they wanted to be part of this legal, non-medical, no edible marketplace. And it's hurting a lot of people in that respect. There's thousands of people now out of work because they're putting dispensaries out of work and they're shutting down these things. It's very wrong.
Changes with jobs and stuff like that, because I mean, you got to look at some of these bigger companies now where they got tens of thousands of jobs are being.
There are opportunities with the LPs.
And you're gonna find all kinds of educational opportunities. The jobs are working.
It's true.
Education, and I'm seeing it just go on the board and you go to these things. And I've actually
it's true.
I was kind of curious, right? So I kind of started looking at some of these. There's a lot of jobs out there. If you want to be in the cannabis industry, you can find a job in the cannabis industry, a legal job in the cannabis industry,
and not necessarily a job with an LP.
Not with an LP, but there's all kinds of different venues.
Hydroponics and lots of different things.
We have cannabis-friendly restaurants opening. You can be a server at that cannabis-friendly restaurant. You understand? There's so many different avenues.
There will be a lot more too.
Everything can be
that are involving a cannabis industry. Yeah. I mean, we're going to see more of that, but like I say, these beginning stages are rough. And you know what?
Sundays are always 420 golf days.
That's
it's
the power
420
of the
every day
cannabis
for me.
movement.
You know?
What's it going to take, though? What's it really going to take for the people that are in this movement and that have been transitioning to the legal side of things to really wake up and realize that what has been designed is a complete failure? And that at some point, they have to, rather than being like, yeah, let's come on, they're cheerleaders of it, instead of actually pointing out the things that are wrong with it in a huge way.
More 420s, and on that note, it is 420.
420! You got to give me a 1 minute warning.
Oh, I gave myself a 1 minute warning.
He gave yourself a 1 minute warning. So yes, 420.
I always say 1 minute warning. See how unprepared I am?
We've ever done. It's going to be huge.
It's a 10-minute span, in my opinion.
Actually, all day.
It's also still part of 420. You can't just have like.
You know the best part about April? It's 420 every second.
That's true.
Year?
It's true.
No, on next year it is.
April is 420 every day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it's
April 420 every day next year
of 2020.
That's awesome.
That's 420 in a different way.
I'm so excited for the 26th.
They're going to shut us down?
The 26th.
We're going to have a 3-day event.
It's going to be
a 30-day event.
Brian, you know what?
2020.
We should have a 30-day event.
We're having a 30 days of events. 30 days of events is what will happen. Absolutely. Every day on the calendar next April will be filled with cannabis events.
But you know what?
There you go.
What we're seeing now,
we're almost there now.
Seeing is the education has to come out. There's a lot of lies behind the education that we're reading on milligrams, on dosing, how it's addictive. If you read the labels on all these packaging,
driving.
you got to keep it in a dry place and in a dry area. Like you don't keep your cannabis dry, by the way. It's not really that fresh then.
Keep it in a jar.
And there's all these little things that are going to slowly start coming forward. And I think if you're actively involved, you know exactly what you need to do. Everybody's got their kind of thing, what they love to do, and just keep doing what you're doing.
We're all still activists on a trip to where we need to have everybody helping us.
I support the plant. I don't think I'll ever stop supporting that plant.
I support freedom.
Saved my life.
Yeah.
I know it saved a lot of people in this
many
room's
people
life
say
and
that.
everybody else
so
out
many
there.
people that say that.
You know what? It's 100% because it gave you a quality of life at any point. And what's happy right now is more and more people are starting to grow their own. And with Cannabis Culture Store now having a grow tents downstairs and for sale, they're all set up. We have LEDs. I was down there with Chris the other day and showing how we have to bring the lights up higher and stuff like that. So we're going to start doing some seminars, talking with you about that.
Yeah, we're going to have some videos of yours playing.
Do some videos, and we're going to talk more about growing your own. And I really want to be actively involved in helping out with that, and then maybe giving in some things and talking more about growing your own. And if anybody's got any questions, we'll kind of get more involved with that over the next little future.
Yep.
Because it's time to start growing your own right now, and that season's coming up. It's still a little wet out right now. If people think you can start planting right now, you can't. It's waterlogged. Yeah, Brian's like...
Thanks to Crop King Seeds, the Cannabis Substitution Project gave out over 400 packs of seeds.
420 packs.
See,
that's big, huge thanks to Crop King for
those
all they do. And that's where you guys should get seeds if you start growing. Get yourself some Crop King or SunWest Genetics or Sonoma Seeds. They're all...
And those seeds were feminized, the two different strains, one feminized, the other feminized, and also autoflower, which is perfect for that
easy
dynamic
for
of people.
For a beginner grower for the feminized seeds, don't have to worry about anything crossing. Make sure they're stabilized at the same time.
Yeah, not for every grower, and certainly not for the connoisseur growers and that, but the feminized seeds
that are autoflower makes life easy. They go
it does.
flower, they're outside.
For what we're doing on the downtown east side, that was the way to go.
Autoflower outdoor seeds are quick flowering time, and that's what you need for the bee seeder. And this way, all the people down on the east side can go on the balconies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cropping about the end.
Those that are lucky enough to have
your
balconies.
mic is not working again for some reason. Are you
I turn it off? Can you hear me?
You took it apart earlier.
Did I take it apart?
Right there.
I've been talking for no reason at all.
A recheck.
I think they can hear you in the background of my mic or something.
So there's Two Joints has a very good point in the comments that not everyone can grow due to the restrictions.
And other reasons.
Yeah, well, and other reasons.
Yeah.
But you know, if they're calling this legalization and not everyone can actually grow, they're not treating it like other plants. Like I can't grow in my apartment.
Hello.
Say it louder.
Hi.
Oh, you're working.
Oh.
Verifying Johnny's mic.
Johnny's
Someone said
check
I
1 2 1
wasn't-
2.
Normally I get told I'm screaming too loud.
Oh, he's good there now.
Yeah.
I'm good now?
You're good.
Yeah.
Hey, there I am.
You're a little better now.
Hi, guys.
I don't have our monitor going here. I guess I could turn that on.
You know what? One thing I love so much is Vancouver.
Hell yeah. Were you born here, Johnny?
No, I was born in Toronto.
Let's see. Cookie,
Vancouver
you're
is
also
very
in
nice.
Ontario, eh?
Yeah, born in Toronto, downtown at the Women's Hospital.
Jeremiah,
one
you're a
already.
Vancouver Island boy?
I am. I'm from Nanaimo.
Yeah, I'm born and raised here in Vancouver.
Yes.
Carly Marley, where's your roots?
Ottawa. Carly
Ontario.
Marley's from Ottawa.
Right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so let me really rephrase this. Okay, I was born in Toronto. I moved here when I was like 3. But between the ages of 1 and 3, I was here most of the time. So basically, I'm from Anmore.
I see.
Just a little
Right.
bit out in the Booney land and past Ioko, Port Moody.
Nice.
Moving up the line into Burnaby, then into Vancouver.
And now out the other way.
And out the other way. Started growing weed probably about 1985 outdoors.
Nice.
That was my first stuff, just before 86.
Nice.
Expo 86 happened. Remember all that kind of
Oh,
stuff?
I was there every day. Seasons past. Yeah, Expo 86. Wonder what they do with Expo 86 now with legalized weed, eh?
They'd open up a floating dispensary, probably.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, moving forward, you know what? Yeah, I think the first real outdoor crop was 1989. Yeah, that's when I think it was kind of starting to kind of roll out. And then it was 91, did the first indoor. And that's when I
Oh, that's such a long time ago now.
made a little wrong turn to hit a dump truck head on.
Yeah. Johnny's mic is fucked.
I pulled it apart though, right? So
yeah, Johnny destroyed the mic before the
He
show.
just wrecked
like,
that mic was.
I'm in the hot
fucked
seat for a
anyways.
reason.
Yeah, you guys might have to share a mic.
Sorry, guys.
It's
I don't
all
want
good.
that back now.
That we should have a replacement for that like next week.
Right. Me and Neil will just share the mic.
Yeah.
Talk close to each other.
Maybe he's not so
Yes.
Maybe it'll work for me.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Yeah, just put it in between.
So as you
yeah.
guys are sitting there just chatting away, we're just talking about life.
LIVIE.
Taking a
So,
look. So I mean,
420.
yeah.
I really didn't have much to talk about on the show today besides 420. I do have a video to play because we've been getting a lot of media about this whole thing, and there's another odd thing. So I guess let's get into a few of these issues in a little bit more depth. There was this issue with the Pride Parade folks here in town who are telling us that we're not a protest. So to
the
me,
executive director.
Well, you're not a
The one
protest
that-
the executive director.
And the
is
Pride
saying
protest is that they're saying? Well, I don't
Oh,
think
it's a
that's
parade.
So
I'm not sure that sentiment is shared by all of the people involved with.
I would highly doubt it is.
I'm just curious.
And what I find odd is that she didn't happen to mention that the Pride Parade actually gets a $50,000 donation from the city to pay for their
Cha-ching.
event, to do everything.
Policing costs.
Yeah, they would help with the policing costs.
Because like other events, it would no longer exist because of policing costs.
Right.
So maybe we should ask for a donation.
Maybe we should. But
You can always
again,
ask, and then you have to start.
Well,
This-
you have to ask. We're like one of the biggest events that happens in the city. We're supported by so many Vancouverites and other people. They should be
And
helping
businesses.
us without us having to ask them. Instead, they fight us every step of the way and say bad things about us and try to scare us away. We've got a long way to go yet to stop this stigmatization of our community and the discrimination against cannabis users. But it's coming, and it's coming fast because it becomes more mainstream. People become like the average person is okay with weed users, you know?
Yeah.
It's just this small group of, I don't know if they're leftover.
Well, the whole thing
Nazis
is I don't.
or probably they've got
I'm gonna
interest in
say-
pharmaceutical companies or something like that. But you know, there
Well,
is this
the
small
government-
group of people that are very vocal
Neil?
Yeah.
about opposing what's going on.
the
with
government
I think
has
we're being told that you
spouted
can't
a lot
hear
of
you
stigma.
on mic.
this. Oh, really? Can't hear me,
That's why Jay Mike's over there just waving his hand.
Too bad. That was good stuff.
Yeah. Well, you can
We
give,
all had good stuff. I had
when
some good stuff going
There's only
on
going to be
too.
one person really talking at a time, so if you guys can share that microphone.
You know what? I mean, when we
Good
moved to the
It should be
420,
anyways.
when we moved from 420
I know that's often the problem.
from the art gallery because they said we were over exceeding, and we felt that. We talked about that.
Yeah.
It was
and we
tight.
went down to the park, and we found out that the grass kind of got a little destroyed the first year. We took care of it. We were
did.
good about it. The next
Yeah.
year we.
Now they never did.
100%. The next year we put down flooring. We protected it. We didn't spend.
Yeah,
a
we
little bit.
paid 30 grand,
We spent
40
like,
grand
I was
for
gonna say
that.
like $20,000-$30,000 to protect that floor. To
Yeah.
make sure because we knew we were going to use it and stuff like
We
that.
pay a lot of money.
We pay a lot of
Every
money
penny gets spent on the event.
on the event.
It's
It's
a
not like people are
non-profit
pocketing
event.
money. This
Yeah.
is not a
Yeah.
profit event.
Nobody
this
makes
is,
a profit.
In fact, on that note, it's a non-profit society that puts this on. If there is money left over, it goes to charities.
It goes back into.
Right.
Further
It goes
in
into
debt.
making the thing next year, but there's
Exactly.
never any money left over.
No, we're always in debt, and we always know.
Yeah,
that.
last year it was in debt a little bit.
All right, so
But
I mean, we go for
we
all
end up
this,
paying
but I
for
mean,
it ourselves. We pitch in and put out of our own pockets as activists and individuals. So, it's one of those things. They like to paint this narrative, and they don't care what the facts say. They also like to criticize.
listening to all the
They
news about
destroy
that
the
yesterday.
grass. And CBC had an article where they said that the grass cost $300,000 to fix.
I saw Dana Gunn saw that pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
They replaced it blade
It's
by
just-
blade.
That's some good.
Blade by blade. Nice
Yeah.
job, Ryan.
That's some good ground.
We actually had. Well, that was some fine grade grass.
I think they were
let me tell you.
confusing that with
That-
the
we were hanging out down there for a
$30,000
while.
that we pay to protect the grass, and then we pay to reseed the grass as well. So we pay for every single thing that the city and park board ask of us, except for the police.
The
And
city
we're-
was probably
around.
confused.
and
They
we're
were
not
like,
going to pay for
30
the police
grand.
costs
That's what we charge them to
because
sell
it's a
weed.
protest. I don't
these
care.
dogs?
We are taxpayers. We do pay for this protest. We do pay for the police costs.
but we also
We're not
gotta look
paying
at security.
twice like we pay for everything else. We're going to pay
Security
twice
is-
for everything else.
And the people's safety is very important. I think we've taken very care of it. I know we've had ambulance. We had everything there last year. We had full green out tents, not one but several. I think David was a very big part of the green out tents and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we take care of all that. We didn't see any. There was no major people aren't ODing and dying at like
No,
there
we
are all
have-
kinds of events all around the world.
We work with the professional teams, whether it's the fire, safety people,
St.
everybody,
John's
first
ambulance,
aid,
those guys.
all of them are pros. All of them are done right. Everybody down there says we do a fantastic job. It's one of the best run events in the city.
People there, it's probably us.
Yeah, yeah, we're the stoners. No, the event is actually...
we look after security. Cannabis keeps people calm and what have you. We have a whole bunch of volunteers that are all out there keeping the peace everywhere. Yeah. We have a track record of 24 years before this where we've responsibly run these events. The cops have been there all the time. Other than 2015 at Cannabis Day, they stand off to the periphery. They don't have anything to do all day. And if there was something to do, we could always call them. But one of our main protests is the amount of money that's being wasted on policing of the whole cannabis file.
Stop policing the cars that are trying to unpack their cars. Give us a break. They spend more time dealing with...
Well, that's important, though.
I know it's okay, you're right.
Okay, that's the one thing they do actually do.
They do a good job of that,
yeah.
actually.
They're good.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I need them there for sure. Because if they because honestly, people will just pull up. The reason that they have to be like that is because people pull up and they leave their car there and then they just disappear.
You're right.
And you can't have that. You,
you
cannot leave your car unattended. If you leave your car unattended, it'll get towed.
Instantly.
Quicker.
And I'm okay with that.
Seconds.
Because otherwise, there's no way to load in. Because if people just, like, honestly, the first year we weren't like that, and people were, like, taking their sweet time, and
they were pretty bad the first year.
First year was
a bit of a nightmare. Same thing. They were really hard on us. I think the second year, they're giving us times. Okay, unload. Okay, and then move. Unload your stuff, put it there, leave someone there with it, go get rid of your vehicle, come back and move your stuff down.
But if they're being rude, then come and get me.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think we did a very good job over the years because I've always been sitting at the top of that hill kind of guiding and stuff like that because my booth's always been right where you guys are.
You got to talk into the microphone to...
Got to talk into the microphone. See, this one you got to talk into. Sorry, guys.
The other one.
But I mean, definitely when you're pulling up and you get things ready for 420, make sure you unload very quickly and move on.
Yeah.
You know, find your parking because you know parking is going to be really bad. They do a lot of towing, a lot of ticketing. This is very, very crucial if you're coming down to the event. Walk down, take a bus. Don't drive your car.
Don't even bother.
Unless you're a vendor, do not bring your vehicle. Yeah, good luck. That's what it is. I mean,
there are a few spots on Denman Street or on Davie. They have underground parking lots. The's a few of them.
Yeah, but they shut them all down.
There's city streets all around.
They get filled up pretty quick.
It's going to be...
That area anywhere close to the park fills up pretty fast.
Well, see, but having an influx of traffic down there is great for the West End there because it does great for the businesses down there. They love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they always have their food
trucks this year, stuff like that.
This is an event.
I know Davie Street is always very
amazing, and like I'm happy to call it a protestival. Like if they were to give us a permit, then we could call it a protestival. But as it stands, they don't give us a permit, right, so it's a protest.
Protesting to sale edibles, and that's really the big protest, right? Because,
extracts, edibles, topicals.
Oh shit!
How about this?
How about cannabis?
How about the government's legalization is a total fraud, and it needs to be completely rehabilitated before it's real. That's what we're protesting. This fraud they're calling
pricing, quality.
The same gram
packaging
of cannabis
in
Newfoundland that was selling for $20 is selling in BC for like $8, and in Ontario it's selling for like $11.
Yeah.
But I know shipping costs and stuff like that. So. Come on.
Shipping.
No, okay, get this. Seth Rogen, who has his new houseplant company as part of Canopy Growth. Canopy, the biggest of all the marijuana companies in Canada.
Yeah, they got like 2,900 people working for them.
Yeah, so they have this new thing there. Well, they're selling houseplant already at the City Cannabis Co. here in Vancouver. That's right. They had like a little display set up in the corner that they were only allowed to have for 2 days up because it's the advertising rules are so strict on this stuff. But so they had it up for 2 days, and they were charging $60 an eighth in the fucking dispensary here in Vancouver for that house.
How much is it online though?
I don't know. I didn't see the online. $60
when
in the store.
I bought 3.5 grams of Western Mountain chocolate from City Mountain Co. for $99 with tax was $107, but online it's $62.50
for 3 grams for $99. Yes,
holy shit, man!
So
it was $107 with tax.
Oh, a robbery.
Yeah. Why would
online it was
that dealer sucks, bro.
I had no idea.
That dealer sucks.
Wow.
Hey, it comes a nice nifty package. It is from Whistler Mountain, so it's organic, and it does come community controlled.
$99.
That dealer must have
pre-packed with
for 3 grams.
Lots of aquariums.
It's all
and pit bulls.
On the street, you can get an ounce for $99.
Yeah, less.
I know. Well, I'm thinking bucks shit.
I was bought an ounce yesterday, $90.
$90? Nice job, Brian.
That's a pretty good price.
Yeah,
I mean, I got to say, for a street price I'd still pay $100 for a half if it was good weed.
Yeah, no, me too.
I'd be happy to pay $100 for a half. That's a good street price even for that. But, you know, you can... the weed you're getting for $90 an ounce probably isn't going to be there very good. Or yours probably is, but you got good connections.
Well, how was it?
I got this wedding cake. Wedding stuff.
But just a sec. How was it, Johnny? I mean, you paid $99 for 3 grams. How was it?
Yeah, how's that weed?
Here's the best thing about it. I spent
$2,000
$2,000 on legal cannabis. I've done one dab. I tried spitting it out, like literally spitting it out.
That yum.
I'd say that
And I haven't smoked
wedding
anything else.
party. I've been calling
mind you, I bought it for one reason. I've been testing the active water and doing posts on all the dry cannabis out there, the standardizations, looking at the seals, the improper, what we're doing with it.
But usually,
I'm educating people on what to buy and taking a look at what's
some sort of kush or something.
You don't know how good that weed was. You didn't actually smoke it.
That's what it's like.
It's nice.
And then when you get into it, it has like a hazy
to be honest, I did light one Instagram post in the morning. I lit one. I pulled on it twice and it just kind of went out. And I wasn't really too interested. When weed comes that dry, it's in a container and it's bouncing around. You see how it's trimmed. You know everything on there is gone.
Trikes
so the terpenes
are gone.
Trikes are bounced off. They're not in the small containers, the big containers. I looked at different sealing and how the seals were. Certain seals, why you just pop them open. That's why some of it was just so dry, is because of the containers they were in. It was really taking a good look for me. Buying it was for me was making history for me, being able to get in line, because I thought I've been going to jail. I've been fighting for this my whole life. Like a lot of us has. Being able to buy that legally with the receipt was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what it is. But I mean, you know what? Like to take a look at how this is rolling out, and we know it's beginning stages and stuff like that. But it's people like ourselves that are gonna hopefully make a change and see better standardization out there.
But how many microprocessors have they licensed so far?
0.
One.
Which one?
I don't know. Just one though.
Okay. Wait a second here. Okay. Small guy. Okay. Everybody talks about it. Who is it, Brian? Because nobody knows. It's once again a lie. So who is it? Because nobody knows. Who?
I thought they did license one.
I've heard a lot of stories about this one guy who got a micro grow license, and the rumors are always Matt, actually, Baron. But I mean, no one knows, because who is it?
It's got to be Matt, because he got hired by Cannabis.
No, it's not Matt. As I said, it was just a rumor, and it's not. He's building a little skating rink. He's Matt. You know, I said these stupid rumors.
Well, yeah, wouldn't he announce it if it was Matt?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, if he was allowed to.
Right? Everybody's got these announcements. So when the micro grower starts coming into play, yeah, I hope it's people I do know, and I hope they're out there growing damn good weed, because you know what? There's some damn good. Yeah.
Well, I hope they get licensed.
I do want to say that Stressed and Depressed Dispensary at 41st and Clark has a license hanging on the wall that they say they got from the city of Vancouver to stay open using their own products and having edibles available for people as a medical dispensary. So that seems to be available.
As a medical dispensary?
Well, they've got medical, and yes, and Canna Pharmacy as well on Granville and 70th, just down from 70th. They say that they're allowed to be there as a medical dispensary, and they are actively being as medical as they can be, and they've got edibles from Twisted Extracts for sale there as well.
Moto Cano, now but doing the exact same thing. He's pure medical. David, he's sticking to a thing. He's open every day.
Who gave him a license? There's no license from the city that allows for that, though.
Well, they got one hanging on the wall.
So you know what? You know what's interesting?
Will you take a photo of it and send it to me? I'd love to go in and talk to him.
Well,
I'd be happy to see. Yeah. Stressed and Depressed is Malmo Levine's former spot.
Former spot.
Yeah. Well, that'd be great. I want one of those. Give me a license like that. We'll turn it into full-fledged medical.
Yeah. Making medical from the start.
You know,
sense, right?
But I mean, what is medical? You just have to have a doctor's note.
Well, like BCCS, British Chemical Vascular Society, they have medical patients that.
It's not even a doctor's note. They just have self.
All cannabis is medical except the stuff you get from LPs.
Yeah, exactly. All cannabis is medical, except
and you can't trust
non-recreational.
I can pretty much tell you that anybody who's using cannabis is using it for medical purposes.
Exactly. So
even if it is that swaggy weed from the LPs.
By that definition,
it's still helping people.
By that definition, we'll go full medical.
Don't believe that.
I'd be happy to go full medical by that definition.
Yeah.
What about the irradiation? I think that's not healthy for people. I think the sprays that they
Why are you denying him the microphone?
And so I don't think it's healthy for people. I think the cannabinoids are healthy for people, but the other stuff that's involved with the LP weed, with the radiation and the sprays.
What you're talking about is what Mark would say is the cardboard that surrounds the trichome. So all around
Mark Richardson,
that is all
Bubble
the
Man.
plant matter. Yes, Bubble Man. Yes,
The
sorry.
Bubble Man.
Yeah. So as in Bubble Man was probably said, it's the cardboard. And yeah, you're right. Like we're only after that one little. We were after the medical parts of that trichome, and what's inside of it is the terpenes.
Actually, Dr. David Pape pulled that out. He made the judge in the
There you go.
the
In the allergy case.
edibles case there with
Owen. Owen. Yeah.
he said so. The judge said, so why don't you just take that, because they showed him a trichrome picture with the head and everything, and they said, like, see that top part? That's like the pure medicine. And the judge said, well, why don't you just collect those parts? And we all kind of laughed because that's making hash or whatever, but he actually like said it was like, yeah, and they were like, well, that's the way it is. Kirk explained to him the way that
the way everything is in extraction
should
in order to
be.
get the fine thing. And that's where we started increasing licenses,
really funny.
and that's where I started helping people in the very beginning, and that's how licenses became 120 grams, like Pedro and other people in industries, because we were using the trichome period. We were actually sifting it. That's where I got mine in the beginning, because I was just sifting. My thing has always been extraction.
Johnny the Hash Master.
Well, no, I was just showed away by people, and I just know how it helps me so much, and that's why I had to know how to do it. I needed to know everything about it because of how much it affected me in such a great way. Of it helped me every day, and that's why I preach it, and that's why I talk about it, and that's why I'm here talking with you guys. Is because
And that's why
gives me that quality of life, right?
That's why we're protesting, because the government legalization does not include that model of things. They're not talking to, or they're not being respectful of and representing those people in Canada that have your type of issues. There are people that really need medical cannabis, and they need to know that it's good and that it's pure and that it's not adulterated, it's not irradiated, and they need it in the form of high-dose edibles. They need it in suppositories and topicals and all these other forms. And when you're extracting those trichomes off of the cannabis
How
plant
much was it at that other
and using it
store?
in that form, that's when it's medical. When I had my first dab of butter from Butter King, I mean, the first thing I realized was, this is medicine.
Non-stop.
This is really eliminating all of the leaf and plant matter that isn't involved in cannabis and cannabinoid therapies, and just isolating those and using the proper.
So
We
I just got
found-
a message about
houseplant?
no, not houseplant. This is interesting.
What message?
More weed, do they? You got your email address?
They found you off the
Spam
internet?
mail all the time?
Jesus.
Alexia's like, yes, Johnny, do you want to order more?
We just found Houseplant Sativa online for $39.99, so $40 eighth. of
Not
Houseplant
60
Sativa.
like at City.
That doesn't include
Financial.
shipping or tax.
Now, is this for a legal place? Is this a legal source, a government store that you're getting that from?
Yes.
Yes.
Online?
That's from BC Cannabis.
I see.
So
And BC Cannabis, is that like the liquor distribution
Yes.
branch? And so then they send it out to these other places that sell it in their stores, and those places are marking it up from there? Is that what's going on?
yes.
So how it works is all the provinces are
44.70.
housed by basically like
No,
their
with
liquor
shipping.
control board or gaming thing. So every province runs the distribution to all of the licensed government stores and to the non-licensed stores, but they have to be recreational stores or recreational
You can buy
stores.
direct from them.
$50.
You buy
Come on.
it's
At lower prices.
Let's see.
who?
You, me,
No.
anybody can buy from. Well, what is it?
I can't buy wholesale.
So that's not wholesale then? What's going on over there? What's that?
That's off the. No, that's just
You can't
like
buy
me
wholesale.
buying weed off there like a guy.
You can't buy wholesale.
John,
Yeah, no.
like
So the
John
dispensaries are
customer.
buying it for considerably cheaper than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And marking it up to considerably more than that.
Yeah, just like normal.
Well,
if you look on there, you get a gram of weed. Say
No,
$62.50.
there'll be a wholesale price for the dispensaries that they purchase it at.
Right.
They'll probably try to price match what the government has online, but in the stores, it's inevitably going to be more expensive because they have more
$53.75 for an eighth. Shipped to your door.
$53.75 for that houseplant. Seth Rogen, $55 bucks
not houseplant.
for an eighth.
60 it was at City Financial or City.
Financial, pretty much.
No, this is when I
have
bought,
to be a
I bought all
billionaire
kinds of
to-
different cannabis. I know the one in when I was in the one in Kamloops, that was the BC one, government one.
Yeah.
That was the same price as the website. But the City Cannabis Co. was different.
There's a video of Seth Rogen on his Instagram smoking out of like a gravity bong thing that he has that he like
Yeah.
turns around a couple times or whatever.
Yep.
But somebody pointed out to me, I can't remember who it was now, that Chris, that when he smokes it, he doesn't actually inhale anything, and he just starts coughing, and no smoke comes out of his mouth at all. So I was like, what? How could that be? And so I went and watched it, and he was exactly right. It looked like he was fake smoking. And then he started coughing.
The device is so poorly designed because by the
It's so stale.
It's like a gravity bomb you flip upside down, and it takes so long to fill up.
It's a bad device.
Any connoisseur wouldn't want to fucking hit it.
No, because this gravity bong, you flip it, and then it's like sucking in and making all this like smoke in there, and then of course it's sitting in there. It's like taking a bong toke and letting it sit in the bong for like 30-40 seconds, and then hitting it.
They're not clearing it and giving it to someone.
It's
your turn.
Good. Nobody likes that.
Yeah, Robbie, remember that bastard
Like
giving you the stale bong all the
stale
time.
bong. No, don't like it.
I get in trouble for that all the time.
Oh, here we go.
There you go. What are you going about?
I'm gonna do another bong toke.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna look online for the weed at City Cannabis Co. and see how much.
I don't think they have weed online. They can't sell it online.
But they can advertise it online. Like,
No.
come on in.
But take a look. I think those private stores can't sell online. Only the government can sell online. Because then it's competition, right?
I want to say that this whole lack of medical access is going to be addressed in a constitutional challenge by Jerry Martin, and we're having a fundraiser for him.
Jerry's now he's identifying as female now. I didn't know. Well, whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
Well, at least everybody's paying attention now. Yeah, Jerry's taken his case. He was a dispensary owner in Whitewood, Saskatchewan. They raided him, I think, 2-3 years ago now. They stole all the things that he had. They've really put him through hell. And,
through the ringer.
And we're going to take it to where it belongs, and that's into the courts, and talk about all these different things there. He needs some money because it costs money for lawyers, and these things are always expensive. The money we raised for the Allard case was very worthwhile in the end. But then hopefully this will be the same way. And we're going to have a fundraiser. And when we have fundraisers, we try to always give value back. So they're always win-win-win. And this time it'll be an activist dinner happening on May the 3rd here at Cannabis Culture. We're going to have a bunch of the activists come and have a brainstorming evening, have some good food, talk about what we can do about this situation, have some good speakers, and enlighten everybody. And it's open to the public as well, so you'll be able to buy tickets for that. And should be some awesome food. If I know Jerry and if I know our industry and our culture. And a great way to spend an evening. That's a Friday night before the Global Marijuana March, which is on May 4th this year on the Saturday.
And how are this is available, where are the tickets available?
We'll have all of that. I don't have that information at this point, but all that information will be coming, forthright. We got 3 weeks before that's happening. Okay. And we're still looking for sponsors for sure. There'll be probably an auction to happen to raise some money that way, and those are always win-win as well. And everything we try to do is win-win, and we're going to win this court case like we've won all the other court cases, and eventually win our right to be free and use the plant for whatever reasons we want and in whatever way we want.
Win our right to be able to medicate.
That's right.
Grow your own. Roll around in the plant.
Do whatever you want with the plant. Just have it.
It's a plant.
Walk around with it like...
that bong toke, I didn't even know if I was on the screen.
Well,
like what's her name did? Was it Amanda Siebert? They had the plant that she brought from like Calgary or something. It was like her emotional support plant or whatever.
Yeah, and then they gave her trouble for it.
Like sticking out of the bag. I was like, yeah, that's the way you do it.
Yeah. Did they give her trouble?
I don't know if they did. I don't think so.
Did. Yeah, maybe they did.
They might have said something, but...
Yes, let's run that global video, Anil.
On April 20th, this field will be full and then some, with 420 falling on the Saturday of Easter weekend and celebrating its 25th anniversary.
The reality is that Sunset Beach is one of Vancouver's main public squares, and there are simply not other venues in the city that are suitable for a crowd and a protest of this size.
But with hundreds of vendors and a party atmosphere, some are once again questioning why this unsanctioned event, one that looks like a full-on festival, is still called a protest, especially given that this year, Cypress Hill will be the musical headliner.
We can't even afford to bring a headliner in because some of our city costs are so high, so it feels really unfair.
Vancouver Pride also started as a protest. Hundreds of thousands of people now attend every year. It gets civic funding, but not nearly enough to cover the costs of permits and policing. Pride says 420 should pay the same fees.
Own up to what you're doing. Call it a festival, go through the process like the rest of us do so that you're being a good fellow citizen.
The bulk of the cost picked up by taxpayers for 420 is for policing, with a price tag of almost $270,000 for 2017 and 2018 combined.
Aside from our policing bill, 420 pays all of the costs to the City and Park Board associated with our event.
Vancouver's mayor and at least one councillor say the event should be relabeled, but there is no timeline on when or how that might happen.
What I'm really hoping is the 420, what was deemed as a protest, will eventually move into a trade show.
They need to get with the program and move on and support just like any other event. They need to pay their share of costs and they need to respect the rules.
420 organizers say not only will the event take place at Sunset Beach this year, it will continue there for years to come. Jill Bennett, Global News.
Look at that.
There you
smoking.
go. So good on Dana.
That gets my hair standing.
They always, the way that they portray these things is so ridiculous. And of course, the Sarah Kirby Youngs of the world jump on the
bandwagon.
This is how they whip up political hay for themselves, and this is how they grandstand and get attention and everything else. And granted, maybe they just truly don't like marijuana, but they obviously don't realize that they're oppressing our culture.
I don't like horseback
I don't think they like other
but
people.
I don't go off on them.
I don't think they like other people having fun.
Right.
Like what you saw there in the video was a whole bunch of people in the spirit of love and unity and having as much fun as you can have. It's what human beings do when we're doing what we do right and when we're doing things right. And that's what 420 demonstrates.
And who
freedom.
is this person from the Pride Parade to tell us that our political action, that our 25-year project of political action called 420 is not a protest?
Yeah.
The
legalization.
Yeah, I'd love her to come on
the show.
Why
is she an expert on the whole legalization and she thinks now that's good enough? Like, well, we're saying it's not good enough. That's what we're saying. If they would listen to us, if Linda Steele hadn't cut Dana off every time he tried to answer her the other day, then they would hear us say, this isn't the legalization we were fighting for. This isn't right yet. This is still wasting tax dollars. This is still using the criminal law where it doesn't belong, and you're ruining people's lives, and you're preventing people from getting access to medicine that would save their lives. Like, they're not listening to us. They think that this legalization should somehow be good enough for us. Yes. And for this woman from the Pride Society to come out and say, it's not a protest, they've got what they wanted. Well, I don't think she's the expert that gets to say that. I think we're the experts that get to say, and we are saying, no, this isn't what we wanted. This is still prohibition. This is almost worse prohibition.
But it's completely inaccurate what she's saying anyways, because she's like, oh, well, they're getting, basically a free pass to have a protest so they don't have to pay for the policing. And she's complaining because their event has to pay for the policing, and which, of course, is a lot to pay for. But again, these police, what they're paying these cops to stand around, and like for some reason, they put way too many cops at 420. The bill is huge. These outrageous policing costs are like basically closing these events down. Yeah. They're telling people, oh, well, if you're not allowed to come out and use the park in large numbers because we don't have the police to protect you in public. Yeah, right. Well, we already pay. The taxpayers pay to have these events. All the 100,000 people that come down there, they pay their taxes. Yeah. Yeah. Every single one of them. Yeah. So, well, maybe not every single one.
And we've demonstrated over 25 years. Most of them. There's no mayhem and chaos that goes on at 420. We've demonstrated that for 25 years. We've got a great track record. We've never needed all those police that come there every time. Right. And the only time that they've been an impact was in 2015 at Cannabis Day, where they were a super negative impact by being there. Oh, and somewhat of a negative impact, at the other ones too, until we learned that we could sort of trust them, that they were just going to stay on the corners and keep us safe. But they always make us scared. We always think that our liberty is at risk when we're around them, and that shouldn't be when we're good people. We are good citizens. We're well-intentioned, well-reasoned. Our ideas are well thought out, and we know we're doing the right thing on behalf of all Canadians and the rest of the population of the planet in trying to get our rights back, stop the oppression and the corruption that is cannabis prohibition.
Here's what we're going to do. If they try to stop 420 from happening, like stop Cypress Hill from being at 420, and they do this whole thing and they really go for it, we're going to take the crowd and we're going to march it through the streets. Mm-hmm. We're going to march to City Hall with 100,000 people.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that's what we'll do. And then they can see how they like that. Yeah. Because it's ridiculous. If they want to see that this is, say it's not a protest, we'll make it a protest march.
Yeah.
Just stop them at the gate so they don't bring them into the country, and then you're kind of without Cypress Hill.
They're already in the country.
That's what Jeremiah is saying.
They're already in the country.
That's what he's saying. If they somehow was to stop Cypress Hill, we'll make it a march.
He's already here. He's out partying this weekend, actually.
Right. They can't stop these guys.
Mixmaster Mike, he's in Whistler.
Well, they can't stop them. They can't stop them without a huge blowback and a great deal of effort that probably fails in the long run anyway. But they won't do it because they're at least not quite that dumm to do what that would do.
Some of these park board commissioners I'm not so sure of.
Well, if they were the ones pushing the buttons, then yes. But I think the people that actually are
it's the police who are going to step through and they're going to be like,
police do and do not do.
Yeah, they're going to be like the adults in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
Be like, that doesn't seem right, guys.
The other people want to cause a riot and hurt a whole bunch of people and make a big fuss about nothing. And like you say, the people that are really actually in charge, thankfully, are let's just let them have their events.
Exactly. Well, I don't know what they.
We're gonna have
even if they tell the park board not to work with us, all the work that we do with the park board is already done. So there's nothing left to do. So if they don't want to come down and hang out with us, they don't have to.
That's fine.
The rest of everybody, we'll have it without them. Yeah, exactly. You're going to miss out on Cypress Hill. So we're going to keep on standing up for our rights and for what is true and what we believe in. And again, this whole idea that it's so weird to watch the media treat us so differently than everybody else. Like how are they treating us so differently than everybody else? They're like the world is so woke out there about respecting people and about like looking at their culture and not trying to appropriate their culture and do all these other things. But they treat the cannabis culture completely differently. They're happy to appropriate our culture, to steal it away from us, to profit from us. In fact, it's expropriation. It's not appropriation because they're making it so that the people who are part of the original business movement are not allowed to be part of it. Well, that's what it's weird about.
Fun like 420 is.
Or
it's
have
all sterile and corporate.
Right. Well, and all of what happens at 420 is still illegal. So every time they say that it's not a protest, we say, well, is everything that's at 420 legal? None of it is. None of it.
Why would any of it not be?
Right.
Actually, yeah, because I don't have a license.
I'm even going to buy some legal weed and then resell it there, so that's illegal too.
Yeah, and we should be allowed to openly sell cannabis at a farmer's market, just like you sell vegetables, just like you sell anything else. It's a produce product. You should be allowed to sell. They do it with coffee.
Didn't they just do that in Pickering?
They do it with alcohol. You can buy alcohol at the farmer's market.
Can we talk about that? Yeah. What happened in Pickering, Ontario, there a few days ago, where they busted that?
Let's farmer's
market at the lounge. Yeah, that's right.
They did. Yep, and they've been going around
and they put out tons of fines.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like they arrested them. No, they fined them heavy fines, like $126,000 worth of fines.
Yeah.
Like crazy numbers, like finding some 61-year-old.
This is Ontario.
Yeah, like 15. I heard some stupid things. I don't know the details. I really like to know more about it. So
just blab it out raw. We won't.
And Doug Ford saying that there should be $1 million fines for people that violate the Cannabis Act and open dispensaries that are illegal and stuff like that.
Well, he's choked. They're not selling that Bob Ford hash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was going to say it's. No
People
Dougie Ford hash.
It's just, and thankfully we're exposing all of that. That's what we've done with having this whole movement to legalize cannabis. Is we've exposed it, and we are exposing just how corrupt these people are.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what would you have $1 million fine for somebody opening a dispensary to help people get access to medical cannabis? Where are the victims? Have they never heard about corpus delicti? That there has to be some sort of victim involved in this stuff? Like,
I don't think they're law majors.
No, I don't think the law major, not the law that I understand about there actually being, need for an intentional harming of somebody to a significant amount where you could put it on the side of a set of scales where the adjudicator gets to balance the scales based on how much damage you actually did and all of that kind of stuff. And
hence,
without a victim, there is no crime. Without damage, there is no crime. Without intent, there is no crime unless it's like malicious, you're profiting off of it, so it's willful blindness or something like that. But there needs to be intention to cause damage. There needs to be damage caused and a victim.
Well, a few members of the current park board don't really strike me as the, thoughtful and educated type.
I agree.
Oh,
yeah, I agree. A little Neanderthal.
I would. That's where I was. Yeah, that's a little caveman-ish about certain things, and also just like this whole uppity attitude about like, oh well, we know better than you do. Like these people don't know anything about our community.
That's right.
And why? So why do 100,000 people come out for this?
That's right.
If it's so unpopular with
and so unsafe. All these people smoking, all that smoke, not allowed to smoke in the park. Oh my God, somebody's going to get hurt. Well, here's 100,000 people all blazing up a huge cloud at 420 there. Where are the victims, and why are all those people people doing that if that's so harmful?
Yeah, this is what people
want
to do.
Those fireworks everywhere.
This is what people want to do. Why are you trying to stop people from doing something they want to do? You work for us. Those park board people work for us. If this many people want to come out and do something, they should be like, oh, well, how do we help you do it?
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what wins our fight for us? Just one word in several cases, like fireworks.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
Tobacco.
Yeah.
Synthetic pharmaceutical drugs.
Well, I always forget to go down
three
there,
words,
but I always want to go down the night after the day morning after the fireworks and like take some pictures of all the garbage everywhere because there is a lot. Like,
and that smoke, that huge amount of smoke that they put into the air,
so bad.
Like that shit's toxic, right?
Yeah.
So
at least weed just gives everyone a little buzz, and that's fine.
So much hypocrisy.
There is so much hypocrisy.
Like I said, that 420 and 2015 when I woke up the next day, they had that run, and I was in the hotel for that day. At the end of that run, the mess that was left behind at the art gallery, it was just like, what the hell happened? Like you see in the morning, like I said, it looked like we had raked it. And after that run, and I checked out, I looked across there, and it was just like, I could not believe it. I was just like, holy
And we clean up
shit.
all of our stuff every year. Yeah.
No,
we need to start documenting it better, and I think
putting
out press releases.
Brian's got
and
all kinds of different slow-mo videos over the years.
Time-lapse videos.
Time-lapse videos, stuff like that. I think we got. I mean, I've got stuff from over the years, pictures. I took when they tweeted about the dump. I sent Jody the picture. I'm like, no, it didn't. Here, I'm right here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, me too. I was down there at like 7 a.m. having.
Yeah, I'm like, I stuck my head up, and I'm like, yeah, really.
I think I might. Yeah, I kind of want to stay there this year overnight. Because I'm there picking
Dana's
up garbage.
Normally there.
Dana's
normally there. Like he's been there. Like every year.
I'm there till at least 5 a.m. anyways. Cleaning up garbage.
Airbnb or anywhere around there.
But I think I might just stick it out and then in the morning.
Jeremiah, you were there one time when they were doing a news report. They were making statements, and you're listening to that, and you said, "Well, hey, wait a minute, come on over here and have a look."
I hijacked their news broadcast, but she got mad about me comparing us to other. I said we were taking a page out of the book of the anti-segregationist crew or the people who were fighting for gay rights, and she's like, "Oh, well, you can't say your protest is the same as those people's protests." And I was like, sure, I can. Well, I didn't say it's the same. I said we were taking a page out of their book. We were trying to use activist techniques like these other successful movements have in the past.
Yeah.
If there's nothing wrong with it, you shouldn't be against it, is the point, right? Yeah, that's right, exactly. And my point was that we're using civil disobedience the same way people in other movements did, like Rosa Parks, who refused to sit at the back of the bus.
Right.
Exactly. So you have to be the change you want to see in the world. We're refusing to live the way they want us to. This is a demonstration. Our protest is also a demonstration, and we're demonstrating how we can openly sell cannabis and nobody gets hurt year after year.
We can throw out thousands and thousands of joints to people and not worry that everybody's ever going to get hurt by that.
Exactly.
Well, we just don't throw them out. We make people sit down, and then we pass out their joints, and then at 420 they able to stand and light those things. Brian, I've done it lots.
Working the pedals.
I've been working the pedals before. We definitely have to take a look at some of these time-lapse videos and stuff like that. It's too bad we didn't have them. Maybe are we going to be doing
I got the time-lapse video from whatever.
There you go. We got to get that going on there. Show that up on Pop TV. Throw those up.
Yeah, we should. The time-lapse ones we got to put up there.
We can't fly drones anymore, so that makes it really hard. I might do a balloon-type system and get some pictures that way. I don't know.
A balloon-type system? What, put a balloon up, let it float up, and then pop it?
No, just put like the camera on the balloon, and then you can put it up on a string. And
they don't want balloons either. Yeah, they're like making it all. They're going to find they don't want it all. They told me that they're going to be worse about the drones and balloons.
What's your height restriction?
Well, yeah, no, you can't fly a drone in the city of Vancouver. They'll fine you a lot.
A lot. We did it once. I remember that.
No, you were allowed back then. And then they because drones just came out, so they didn't have any you can't fly them anywhere in the Vancouver region, Stanley Park. You can go to North.
You can't fly in a drone anywhere anymore.
Well, you can go to North Van. You can go to Lions Bay, and stuff like that. A couple places you're allowed.
I know someone was flying one over my house about 3 months ago. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like a drone, man. My neighbor just bought one. You got to knock on the door. Can't fly drones around, man.
Especially in Abbotsford, you got an airport right there.
I know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you wouldn't be allowed either. I get them for going up to the mountain and stuff, but even then I don't even think
the whole thing is, it's great for using your drones. So, it's good for finding in that outdoor spot so you can go out into the wilderness, get your drone, find a good spot where you can be able to get that grow going on. Make sure it's secluded. You can use that drone to find that path to go so we can plant your outdoors. There's drone areas that you can use for actually properly planting cannabis. So utilize your drone. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Take it to the outdoors. Find
drones.
that great little place that you
How
can
about
grow.
a kite? They're asking. Well,
yeah, ask
you
about
could try a kite.
A lot of running involved, but yeah.
I assume
kite it up.
At the beach all the time.
That's right.
Certainly do.
Yeah,
They
Crab
can't ban
Park
a
throws.
kite.
Tried kites at 420 before and nobody said anything, but those are usually in.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Humble Canadian came up with a pretty good one. You should get a kite. Just get a kite.
It's a lot of running back and forth.
All you have to
camera,
do,
right?
If it's
Kyle,
windy, it's just like
Kyle, I know you're
True.
watching the show. Make sure you get some kites that say Crop King seeds.
They never
flying up there. You know what I mean? And hang some cameras up there while you're doing it, dude.
So funny.
You can
Well,
probably
we
get
got the
like
barge. You hear about kites. I mean, I love it, and I love that Cypress Hill's going to be showing there. Stuff like that. Very tight
The
security
Crop
at
King
this
barge
420, by the way,
bylaw.
everybody.
barge.
So
Exactly.
No
it might be a
barge.
free concert.
That's true,
It's
that
going to be a
barge.
free concert, but it's the very tight security. So we're going to make sure that no one's hurt.
Oh yeah, we have crazy security.
Crazy security for this.
It's gonna be good. There's police
Don't be
officers
rushing the
all over the
stage.
place.
Don't think you're gonna be jumping up there or anything like that or
No.
blah blah blah. It's very
No. Well, and why it's not like Cypress Hill's like Justin Bieber or something.
What's that mean?
You know, like it's not like come on, it's Cypress Hill. They're like a '90s hip hop group. I know they're big. They're huge. They're a legendary band. They're gigantic. But it's not like it's like a bunch of the little kids are gonna be there like trying to get drunk and everything. It's like
we're all smoking weed.
People, they get respect.
no
like
alcohol.
people that come out to see Cypress Hill have respect for them. You know, it's gonna be a good crowd. I don't think it's gonna be a bunch of like douchebaggy idiot bros or whatever. Like.
If you know who Cypress Hill is, no one should be able to tell you
Exactly.
you can't smoke weed.
Exactly.
Right.
If you know who Cypress Hill is,
Yeah.
nobody should be able to tell you not smoking weed at this event. Like
Smoke
or
weed.
give me
Any
a break.
event.
Yeah.
Any event.
And Cypress Hill has a new album out, so like
Do
yeah,
they?
they do.
Elephants
Elephant
on acid.
Yeah.
We should
It's
be
super
playing some
psychedelic.
Oh, it's
Cypress Hill.
fucking good.
Yeah, it's super psychedelic.
It's a great smoking hash.
But again, it's not the Bieber crowd. It's not the like the kiddies or whatever, right? So.
We've like been to an event in our lounge. Like stoner events are a lot different than
People who smoke
Yeah.
weed are chill.
They just
Can we, you know what? We got to get Revolution for next year, Jared.
Oh shit! Say what?
Arrested
Revolution.
Development.
Oh, I thought you were passing that.
No, I just
Arrested Development. Yeah.
No, a Revolution.
Oh, a Revolution.
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 You know Revolution?
Yeah, that name's familiar. I do
Really?
know
They
that.
played the 25th High Times Cannabis Cup.
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah.
Green Turn to Blind.
Steel Pulse. That's
I
where
thought you were
heard
talking
them
about
first.
Arrested
They're all
Development, who played at the Bio Cup
No, it was a High Times Cup.
or the High Times Cup. Sorry, whatever they
Oh,
called
there's
it.
the
That was dope.
shakedown going
It
on right
was.
now, and it's Snoop Dogg, Incubus. There's another big thing. It's not cannabis related, but there's a big.
Oh, at the Cowichan Valley
Cowichan
thing,
Valley
yeah. The
thing,
Lake
yeah.
Town Shakedown.
Lake Town
Oh.
Shakedown.
Snoop Dogg and the boys.
Yeah, so
Doggy
Snoop
Dogg.
Dogg showing up with Sublime.
Carly
with
Marley's in the
Rome and
house.
them, so-
Two
Yeah.
joints is like Carly Marley should get some airtime.
Lineup that they had for the Bio Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, plus Snoop Dogg.
plus Snoop
Oh,
Dogg.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. When
And
is
that
this?
Incubus.
Sublime and Ron.
When is
July.
this?
July.
It's right around Cannabis Day.
The end of it's Cannabis Day. Cannabis Day on the weekend.
July.
Yeah, it's on the long weekend, so it's July 29th, 30th, and
July
whatever.
1st is Cannabis Day.
Yeah.
July 29th is
20.
not.
No, sorry,
Yeah,
20.
they're on that weekend. They're on that weekend.
Okay, June 29th.
June 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is.
It's like that's a little bit of a month off.
On the Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
it would be that
Cool.
weekend. Yeah. So
Dope.
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you're interested.
See, and they're not getting run out of town. Wait, what's that event? What's that event actually?
It's just called the Lake Town
Lake
Shakedown.
Down
Lake-
Shakedown.
okay.
And it's in Chowder.
It's not weed related?
It's on Vancouver Island. In Duncan.
No, it's like where the Bio Cup was, same
Oh,
place, but
okay.
it's
It's where the High Times Cannabis Cup ones. They were that big
And the
Right.
Bio
that
Cup.
one.
They're not doing it though.
No,
they
I
have
think
Snoop
they
Dogg.
failed on it.
Snoop?
They got Snoop Dogg. They got Sublime with
I'd go
Rome.
see fucking
Sublime
Snoop
with
Dogg.
Rome.
We saw Sublime
Incubus.
last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Little Kim.
Yeah. And wasn't House of Pain there last time?
House Pain was there
House
last
Pain.
How
time.
the fuck did we not see House of Pain?
We did.
No, I gave him a.
I didn't
got
see
to
him.
hang
I
out.
got pictures with them.
We weren't there yet. We got there late. Me and Carly came late.
Best thing about those events is I was.
I love
got
House
to
of
meet
Pain.
I got to meet all the bands. I got to hang out in the back and chill and just that was kind of like.
And House of Pain
so I
probably
got
never
to
tour
meet
again.
my girl.
Everlast says
I've had
they're
a
done.
great time at
Yeah,
those,
we just went in. Johnny was like,
those,
"Hey, this is."
Lake Town events. Let me tell you, they've been quite memorable for me.
They're all good. Yeah.
That's a great venue.
It's
like it, yeah.
amazing. Go to the island, you hang out, you can camp, you can party, just go in.
Smoke a lot of weed.
It's said and done. Then it's just like this little drive out of a small town on a ferry, and you can chill and you go home.
And people were hating on the High Times event, but it was good.
I had a good time. It was awesome. Well, I mean, it's
I think there
depending.
was
I mean,
some-
people were hating because of security.
Because of the transition that happened so quickly before.
Yeah, I think the problems really came down to, and we know that is what happened at the end with the vendors, what happened with Remo.
There was some vendor issues.
There was a lot of big push, and it kind of went
shittiness.
Sour, and then
I think there might not have been the best treatment of some of their vendors, including Remo.
Yeah, no, not including. No, I mean, but there was a whole thing with the whole
that's
thing.
pretty foul behavior from the High Times crew. But
the best thing was about it is we had the event. It was a High Times first ever Cannabis Cup in Canada. I think it kind of went over, so we got to go through it, and it was a big cannabis festival.
It was,
and it was awesome. And I was happy to be a part of those couple of events, and I'm hoping to be able to do it again someday soon because those first 2 events, like I said, were quite memorable. And I'd like to see a third, a fourth, and a fifth, and a 25-year one day, right? So. Maybe we can start doing some festivals.
Festies.
Maybe we'll start doing some big. Maybe
Get our motherfucking festies
maybe
on,
as legalization
everyone.
rolls out, the next one will be a big festival. We'll be able to do a 3-day event. We can bring in bands and stuff like that and be able to sell all kinds of things.
They should give us a permit.
Yeah, give us a permit. Go to Squamish, and they have that big thing with that. Those big fields out there, and they have that whole thing and put in big screens.
Squamish in the
have
field.
a big festival and have 100,000 people over and just have this big, huge event. It's all sitting there.
We should get. We're gonna wrap this up because my parking's gonna expire.
Yeah, my parking's done right
and but these two, we got to get these two on there real quick. J-Mac wants to talk about volunteering at 420, which is an important thing. We need volunteers, and Carly Marley should come on just to be Carly Marley.
Just because she needs to be on screen time.
Yeah, sorry, boys. You might make some room for...
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Mr. Neil Magnuson, Mr. Johnny B. I guess we'll see you in a week, These guys, so I we'll probably log in next week at 4 o'clock. We'll do a thing from the grounds of 420 since I'll be down there getting ready for the big event. We'll do our show from the grounds. So, yeah, I'm sure you'll see Neil down there somewhere. And no, the only people that are allowed to set up is us and the Dab Village area. So, yeah, you're not allowed yet, Johnny. You got to wait till the 20th like everybody else does. Sorry. But, yes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all the amazing points. Carly Marley.
Hi. Oh, I'm wearing my 420 thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Oh. You made it into like a, I don't know what.
Like vest thing.
It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Let's do something.
Carly always doctors them up.
Yeah.
You always chop them and turn them into something cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm not a big t-shirt person. No, I'm a tank top person. I never wear sleeves. If I do, it's a comfy sweater.
Yeah, and J-Mac has that very cool neon year that we did our security shirts in neon yellow.
So bright.
I love that one. This year, the security shirts are black.
They're going to look so good. I'm so excited about the t-shirt color that we found.
No, it says security this year. As specially asked for by security. You can wear whatever you like, J-Mac.
So I am going to be talking lots about 420 on my show on Monday, but the main reason I wanted to pop on and say hi today is because I wanted to remind everyone that there's lots of cool stuff going up on CannabisCultureHQ.com all the time. I just added shitloads of really cool dab mats. There's one that looks like a Ouija board. There's one that looks like a pepperoni pizza. Ooh. There's all sorts of cool stuff up, all sorts of new silicone pipes and products. Lots of heady glass getting added at at least one piece a week. There's lots of cool stuff up there right now. Saw some of the pieces on my show Monday. You'll probably see some more this Monday. We'll see though. But yeah, so make sure you're checking out CannabisCultureHQ.com. Lots of really cool stuff going on. So
very cool. And how's your show going?
It's going awesome. It was a lot of fun. We had Dominique, who was a special guest co-host last week. It was a lot of fun. Make sure you go watch the episode. She's great. It's always awesome having her in the studio. And Celeste is going to be back in the studio next week. BC Bad Gal is going to be back from Mexico. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to have her back. You're going to have regular 420 Lifestyle show back in action. It's going to be great.
Carly Marley is doing amazing work. as Cannabis Culture's social media editor as well. Not just all these other amazing things you do. So also tune in and subscribe or follow all of our social media.
Cannabis Culture Official at Pot TV, Cannabis Culture Magazine, Cannabis Culture Store. Check us out on Twitter. We got an account.
Those are all
Lounge
ats.
Store. The magazine, Facebook, we got the store, magazine, 420, Cannabis Culture headquarters, the lounge. Go follow them all. There's all sorts of cool shit posted on all of them. So
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of places. We have multiple accounts on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. One for, basically everything we do, whether it's 420, Cannabis Culture Store, Cannabis Culture Lounge, Cannabis Culture Magazine. They each have their own stuff. There's like 2 Instagram. There's only 1 Twitter, though. Cannabis Culture at Twitter. Oh, what's our other Twitter? Pot TV?
No.
Johnny
we have a
has his
Cannabis
weekly
Culture
joint.
Store Twitter.
Oh,
we have a
shit.
Cannabis Culture Lounge Twitter.
Oh, we have a lounge one, too.
Yeah. And 420 and
Okay,
Cannabis
well,
Culture Magazine.
I was right the first time then.
Instagram, also the lounge doesn't have its own account. That's under Cannabis Culture Official. Just listen to what I say.
That's right. Listen to Carly. Don't listen to me.
Thanks
I don't
for
know what the
having
hell
me
I'm
on. I just
talking
wanted
about.
to say hello and remind everyone, shop online at CannabisCultureHQ.com. I'm going to go buy some green eyeshadow for 420. J-Mac is itching to get at the mic, so I'll pass it over to him.
J-Mac's going to get neon yellow eyeshadow for this year to match his shirt.
Yeah, and yellow lipstick too.
Thanks, Carly Marley. Oh, did you show your shirt off? Show it off before you go. Or did you?
Shirt
Come over here and show it off one more time. Over here. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, here. Here's the bone. Now it's moved.
Oh, my God.
There
you go, guys.
There you go. Nice.
Good.
Good work, Carly Marley. Thanks for coming on. J-Mac will be back at 420 this year as a volunteer.
I'll be back
as he always is.
I'll be back there at noon on 19th, and I will be in the area by the washrooms, like by the concession stand washrooms that will be closed again this year, of course, because the government doesn't want to give food, but whatever.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
So, sorry, distracting you guys, sorry. I took my pipe on fire. So,
tell us, J-Mac, about what's going to happen. So, volunteers, we need more volunteers.
Yes, we do need volunteers, because if you are going to be in the area of Davie Street on Sunset Beach at all, please come by help us. We will gladly appreciate it. Yes, I know I'm... We'll pay you in joints. Yes, we'll pay you in joints.
We will, actually.
The joints this year...
Yeah.
The joints this year are
super nice.
I smoke them. Yeah. I smoke them. A lot of them.
Yeah, in years previous, because the weed is donated, sometimes the donations we get aren't always like, it's not quads.
Yeah, no,
but this year, it's pretty nice weed.
Yeah.
The weed smells and looks better than it ever has.
Yeah, this is some nice stuff.
That's true.
So, yeah, this is quality stuff. And we're going to be throwing out about 12 pounds to the audience this
12
year.
libs.
12
okay, so
libs.
I brought back the bag of joints.
Yeah.
Fucking joints.
They're pretty good.
I want to smell them.
We're not getting any level.
I think it smells good, actually. I was smelling them earlier.
Oh, man, does that ever smell good?
Yeah, doesn't smell
And
like
thanks to Neil, he's been rolling away.
Fuck,
And
no.
the team. And you know what? It's great to see. Now, instead of me wrecking these, I'm going to put them back here, Brian.
Do we know what strains they are?
No.
Kush.
We'll say
that smells
Mix and
really
match.
good. That does not. Oh yeah, there was different.
Pardon me?
GFW is a strain. Good fucking weed.
Good
fucking weed.
That's right.
Oh, Tommy, that one.
This
Who?
stuff. This stuff.
GFW's,
Okay,
yeah,
I
that
can
came from
what
trailer
strain
out
it is by smelling it.
mission.
There's Nukin in here. Smell it.
It's good, really good weed.
That
And
smells good.
again, of course, this year
like
for
Nukin.
420, as always, I'll be doing a 420 med tanner, 25 years. Jer, we're doing a 25-year med tanner again. So this year there's only 200 of
There's
them.
only 25 of them.
Only 200. Only 200. I'll be giving a few away on stage, stuff like that. You'll get them at the booth, stuff like that. We're going to have a lot of fun. So, and it's basically being the official collector for 420 since I I've been printing meditating since 2012 for 420. Got a lot of those suckers, so I'm, it's I kind of been doing it for years, and I'm happy to do it again this year. And of course, I'm always throwing stuff out at stage of 420. So look for those special gift bags.
We're gonna be throwing wrapped a lot up. I'll be working out some bags,
lots of giveaways, lots of joints, lots of fun. It'll be a fantastic celebration. Celebrating, isn't it? It is. I love just throwing out just free stuff to people and stuff.
Getting the crowd all riled up. And,
it's so much fun.
Excited. If you want free shit, it's fun being able to like influence all these stoned ass people having a good time.
It's fun.
Shit. It's awesome.
Hey, you know what? It's one of the most. One of the best things about the events is that excitement of the giveaway and Neil singing "Oh Cannabis" and just all these little special things that make it so special and make it our event.
And while we're at it, I want to thank Weeds, Glass, and Gifts once again for helping us out this year. They've helped us out from the beginning. They got locations all over the place. Check them out and support them. The Medicinal Cannabis Dispensary, Dana's store, he's got 2 of them on Thurlow there and on Hastings in the 800 block, East Hastings. Wonderful sponsors of our event for so long now. Cannabis Culture as well, of course, one of the main forces behind 420 and all of these events. Dirty Dave, looking for Dirty Dave because he's got great weed. That guy grows organically, nothing but the best, doesn't use poisons. You can find him booth 73 at 420 there, and he's online as well. Mama's Market, formerly Health Lifestyle. They're in the 6300 block of Main Street at this point, and they got a really nice little shop there, all kinds of plants and flowers, and she can help you with your growing needs there as well. The Stock Market, formerly a Cannabis Culture outlet down in the far west end of Broadway there, I think the 3100 block, something like that. And they're really good down there, and they'll help you out.
3175 West Broadway.
What's that address?
3175.
3175 West Broadway. And then Dr. Coffee, of course, big sponsor for the last little while. A great sponsor of the Cannabis Substitution Project. Real good people there. So support Dr. Coffee and the rest of them. And I want to thank the Holy Rollers for putting all these joints together. They were amazing this year.
Yeah.
We're pretty much done, and we got a week to go, and that's never happened before. So, very, very happy with how that all went. So thanks to all those people.
So in other words, more donations so we can keep them rolling.
We could roll a bit more. You could talk to us about that if you want to.
Well, of course, but because the more joints you roll, the more you can help to the substitution program.
Well, I don't know about that. We throw them out at 420. We give them all away there for this event. But the people can donate to the Cannabis Substitution Project. Check that out. We're on Facebook as the Cannabis Substitution Project.
There you go.
We give away care packs of high dose edibles to people on the downtown east side. We got about 200 plus bags that we're giving out twice a week now.
And let's really rephrase those people down the east side. These people are suffering from all kinds of different things, not just from from addiction problems, but from disease or injury or sickness. There's all kinds of different reasons why people are in the downtown east side. So when you're actually donating and helping out people, you're helping out people that are truly in need.
Oh, sure. Cannabis is not only keeping people alive by offsetting the use of the street drugs, but it's helping them in a myriad of different ways, as Johnny pointed out. It's helping them sleep and helping them with pain and all that kind of stuff. We get so many great reports for what we're doing there. It's a real love fest. It's a great atmosphere, and I really want to thank the donators to the Cannabis Substitution Project and the volunteers. But the donators are so powerful that help us do this, and please help us as well, and we'll continue to do it.
Great work on all that stuff, Neil.
You're awesome, Neil.
Great job.
Yep.
And do you guys have a booth at 420, the CSP this year?
Yeah,
I think you did, right?
62 or something like that. It's in that area of the 60s.
Good.
60 block.
60 block.
I don't know what booth I'm at. I know I'm right near
Reefer
Cannabis
Road.
Culture.
35 and 36.
I'm right near you.
You're right, Sativa.
Yeah, you're like on the back of the block.
Yeah, I'm right near the front on the right. Facing the crowd, not facing the stage.
Yeah, I think it was 35 and 36.
Northern Lights Way, I believe.
Yeah, is it? Well, you would know. You gave me the booth.
Yeah,
apparently got 2.
You're the one who asked for it. I still got your text messages.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He's like, I still got. That's good because I've lost all mine.
Oh no.
Yeah, my phone dated back to 2016. I'll get to figure that out today.
Who else? What was I going to say? Damn it! Now I forgot.
Oh, you forgot?
Something else.
I'm out of here. Parking's done. Thanks, guys. Love you all.
That's what I was going to say. My parking's done. That which is also true, but that's not what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. So thank you, Carly Marley. On 419, if you're bored and have nothing to do, if you want to have some fun, come on down to High Score. We're having a pre-420 game party. And yeah, 419, we're going to have a big party there. So come on down. It should be fun. There's going to be free dabs and all kinds of stuff. What's that?
Do you open at 4 there? What time do you open there?
We open at 4 p.m. We close at 10:30 usually, or 11, I think now. Sorry, 11, not 10:30. We close at 11. But we might be open later that night. I don't know.
You will be.
Yeah,
I won't be there later that night. I got to get some sleep.
Yeah, I probably will not be there later that night either.
The next day is a big one.
Next day is a big one, but everybody will be partying down there. So rather than doing a 420 party, we figured let's do a 419 party because everybody will probably be doing shit on 420. So.
Cool.
Pre-day one.
Yeah, the pre-party is fun. So come down, play some vintage video games. We got all the old goodies. Play the consoles, play the arcade stand-ups. High score, baby. 649 East Hastings in Vancouver. We're open every day from 4 to 11. Why did I think?
Such a lucky number.
It used to be till 10.
You
But
should also follow them on
11.
Instagram because they got lots of cool stuff posted on there all the time. Cody and Boss Lissa kill it. So make sure you go follow them. And also, we've got an event here on the 17th. We've got another drag show going on here. So it's going to be really awesome. You can find details on our Instagram if you want to check that out too.
And one thing and I can announce this, we're actually going to be selling memberships to High Score. So memberships that will mean that you don't have to pay the $5 cover charge to get in. So you'll have a membership, and then you'll be able to get in and use your card. So we've been wanting to do it for a while. We're gonna pilot it. I don't have the prices yet, but don't worry, it'll be affordable and it'll be worth it. So
$420 for the year, just a good round number.
Yeah, well, I think we're gonna start with like a day pass, a week pass, and a month pass, and see how those go. And then
a day pass,
a week pass, and a month pass.
I
For
like
people that want to come down for the day rather than just saying for 1 hour, rather than paying for 5 hours. You know, you pay because it's $5 an hour if they don't want to pay all day long.
$25.
That's right.
We smoke weed and play games. It's a pretty good deal.
It's a damn good deal.
There's no place like that ever.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, there really is no place like it. So we want to keep it going. So come down and support us. We need your help because if we don't make that place make money, we're not going to be able to keep it open for long because. It's hard to make money in the city right now. It costs a lot. Rent is expensive. Everything's expensive. So we need to make that place make money. Get down to High Score, 649 East Hastings. Play some games. Should be fun on 419, and then should be fun on 420. There will be people camping out at 420 on the night of 419.
I'm showing up on 418.
Camp out.
Yep, J-Mac's going to be down there.
You allowed to camp out last time?
If you're a volunteer, you're allowed to camp out.
I'm volunteering.
Yeah, well, you can camp out, sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we have 4 security at least overnight, so we have like a full security complement, and people,
that's good.
Nobody will screw around. So, yeah,
anybody can volunteer.
So yeah, come on down. We'll put you to work. And that's the thing. We are having 2 more volunteer meetings before 420. One this Sunday at 4 p.m. here at Cannabis Culture on the 2nd floor in the lounge, and a Simple Blood Oath gets you a membership. Says 2 joints.
It's true.
And we also have another volunteer meeting on next Wednesday at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Should be at 4:20.
Next Wednesday.
Just saying.
Yeah, well, it is at 4:20 because at 4:20 we all spark our joints up.
Here you go.
Yeah, but it actually starts at 4. So if you want to be a volunteer, come to one of our meetings. You don't have to come to one of the meetings to be a volunteer. If you're in the neighborhood on 420 and you want to volunteer, come on down. We'll put you to work. It's we can explain. We can explain the rules to you on the day of. It's really, we'll actually, give
team
you a
up
task.
with a guy.
Yeah, we'll team you up with somebody. It's really not that hard to figure it out. We'll tell you, hey, can you do this for us? So yeah, come on down. We do need the volunteers. The volunteers make the whole thing happen. Without them, it would be very, very difficult to make it all work. So
without them, it
big
wouldn't
thanks
happen.
to Neil Magnuson, who is our volunteer coordinator as well.
Yep.
So Neil does a great job, and he's been chairing the meetings when I can't be there. So, and that might happen again next Wednesday. Yeah.
Thanks, Neil.
Yeah, thank you, Neil.
Forewarned is forearmed.
Exactly.
Forearms are better than 2.
I mean, sharing it on Facebook. I was the volunteer meeting. I shared the first one.
Thank you, Johnny.
Good sharing.
I'm gonna
I
post another
support which is the plants. It's amazing. And the
Who, Johnny?
Who?
Gangsta, yeah, he does. Yeah, he's looking
Yo,
gangsta.
yo,
Says Neil.
I'm out of here.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap this up. Mr. Cookie, what are you doing for 420? Are you gonna Mr. Cookie booth?
No, Mr. Cookie booth. No, I'm gonna be doing the high-profile photography for the event.
Awesome. Very nice.
So I'll have all those high
hang out on
def
my
pictures.
booth. Yeah, Mr. Cookie booth.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll be doing meet and greets all over the place. So if you need me, just hit me on the Insta, and then we'll do that.
And Mr. Cookie will.
Oh, it's at Mr. Cookie 420, in case you don't know, but I'm sure everyone knows.
Everybody knows.
Well,
100,000 plus viewers. Come on.
Come down.
Exactly.
Come down and enjoy yourself. Have a fantastic time. And I will see you guys, I guess, next week.
Next Friday at the place.
We'll be doing a show on the grounds. Yeah.
I'm going to be unloading.
Are you going to be down there on Friday?
Of course I'm coming down.
All right. Johnny will be there on Friday.
This is like one of the most...
Yeah, J-Mac will be there.
Of my life.
Neil will be there.
How can I not be
Polaroid
there?
shaking.
I've always been there ahead of time. I've always gotten hotels. I've always been there. Like, if you don't think I'm staying downtown that night and getting all ready, so I'm like here bright and early. Place to rest because I need to lie down. I'm bringing in a cot behind my booth. That's why I have two. So I have a little lay down booth. Just so I
there you go.
That little sleep.
Bunk down at 420.
Full dab station going on in the meditainer booth, of course. I have lots of glass. I have lots of stuff going on there.
Got your meditainer booth.
So if you need a place to roll, be a rolling stations going on there, so you can get your pre-rolls if they're not already pre-rolled for you.
I'm also proud to announce that we're going to have a high score booth this year at 420, and we're going to bring down the big screen, and we're going to have video game consoles and stuff down there on the grounds. The booth is going to be right next to the Cannabis Culture booth, right at the Dab Village, so it's right at the front. Yeah.
So you can have mine.
Yeah, and so it's yeah. Johnny's trying to get rid of his booth. Yeah, no, it should be fun. So come on down, see the high score crew. Cannabis Culture will be in the Dab Village. It should be fun. The Crop King will be in the Dab Village as well. They're actually bringing, what I heard is they're bringing a dunk tank. Like they're going to have the, so you'll be able to dunk the Crop King, I guess, or I don't know who they'll dunk, but hopefully they'll.
Raining, it won't be.
I was hoping maybe Neil would wear the Justin Trudeau face. Neil got himself into some trouble with that one.
Get wet, Neil, if you
yeah.
No, I think they're dunking you in weed.
They
seeds, Maybe seeds.
Neil
you can use that, Kyle. You can use that, Kyle.
Yeah, as long as you don't inhale when you're down there.
Yeah.
Seeds. Open your eyes. My eyes. They're full of seeds. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this up. We'll see you next Friday, if not beforehand, on one of our many amazing Pod TV shows. Tune in all week long, especially on Monday for Carly Marley, who was in the house.
Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yep. All the days. I don't know if they all have shows anymore. But Alyssa will be. Yes, Alyssa, Boss Alyssa, who is the manager of High Score, also will be doing her show live from the grounds of 420. And, of course, on 420, Craig X was here earlier. We'll be broadcasting all day long. Yeah, with Piper Courtney.
That's
Craig
right.
X and Piper Courtney from the Georgia Strait will be co-hosting the event. They're doing this sort of we have two feeds. We have a feed that is just the stage show, so you can watch the whole thing live as the crowd would watch it. And you can also watch what happens on the side show. We have a side stage where we'll be interviewing people who are performers. We'll be talking to various people from the cannabis community. The play-by-play show on the side by Craig X and Piper Courtney with, it's Pod TV and CLN teaming up, as we always do. The awesome people at CLN and Jade Maple making it all happen. Love those guys. Yeah, there's a lot. It's going to be a big broadcast. It's going to be a very professional one. These guys always do such a great job, and it's great working with them, so I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Good coverage.
Yep.
So if you can't be down there, I think it is. If you can't be down there, tune in live. And because in our contract, we're allowed to play at least 3 Cypress Hill songs live on the broadcast. We're trying to get permission to play the entire broadcast live. And I think, we should be allowed to do that. So we're just, we do it every year.
your cell phones.
Yeah, exactly. Get out your cell phones just in case, but yeah.
What do you need? Instagram. Come on.
That's just how it usually works, but
yeah,
I think this year we'll probably be able to get permission. The last 2 years we have got permission, so it shouldn't be a problem. We're just waiting on all this stuff, and they might get an interview with Cypress Hill on CLN too.
Nice.
That one we'll have to also wait on to see if it happens, man. Yeah, I suggest coming on down and being part of the fun.
What do you mean? You suggest get on down.
Get on down, and if you live out of town, get a plane ticket.
Free show.
And thank you, 2 Joints is giving us permission to broadcast the whole thing, so it sounds like we're going to go.
It sounds like it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Thanks, 2 Joints.
It's on.
All right, we love you. We'll see you next Friday. Drug peace.
Drug peace.
Brought to you by SunWest Genetics.
40,000 people packed the area today.
20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy 420! Oh, supply people, how you feeling? How you feeling, Ira? Oh, say I'm fantastic in that area. You see it. Smoke it up, it's 420.
Hello there, first-time viewers. Welcome to Pot TV. Welcome to Pot TV.
Let them go! 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 Let them go!
It is only now, once we've reached this point of critical mass, that I could really tell you the story, because that's the interactive nature of the internet.
Pot TV is an internet video-based site. We've had over 6 million shows watched. We get about 10,000 shows watched a day. Shows on growing marijuana, medical marijuana, politics of marijuana.
And at that time, most magazines or books revolving around marijuana were prohibited literature.
From cookbooks to grow books, books about the cannabis culture, mushroom books, even psychedelic books.
The mass injustice being done where millions of people in this country are being scapegoated, having their rights and their property and their leisure time and their privacy and their freedom of movement all stripped away from them.
And they pulled me off the line, and pushed me down and put me in handcuffs, and they locked me in their patio.
This is what it's all about. A little green plant. You, the taxpayers, are being asked to subsidize a war on a little green plant.
I know it's scary and difficult and frustrating, and politicians are a fraud. Try and change that and be a voice of truth.
For many, many years, decades.
In 2001, Canada legalized marijuana for medical purposes.
Pot TV news flash breaking story, July 9th, 2003.
I became leader about 9 months ago.
You have how many locations and how long have you been serving the people of the community for?
Well, I started in 2004.
Because as long as you're not hurting anyone else, as long as you're not causing any harm, then why should you be dealing with police or prisons or agents of the government?
A former DEA agent and author of Powder Burns, Cocaine Contras and the Drug War.
In the media often, and the media reports uncritically all too often.
I saw this video and I was like, whoa, man. Seems like there's something to this.
Join me weekdays on Pot TV.
We're going to be doing a new show here on Pot TV. On Pot TV and Pot Your Bar combines poetry, music, art, video clips, and photographs with a variety of interesting guests who are involved in the medical cannabis movement.
Comes on air at 4:20.
Cannabis indica or Indian hemp. It was tasted by the priests on sacrificial occasions.
So I'm gonna stop and smoke a joint. Just figured I'd show you my surroundings here. Beautiful, beautiful little flowers everywhere.
Hemp and its many applications, how hemp can be made into paper and fuel and clothing and that.
2 different samples. Now these are the same cut, grown in the same room with 2 different soil mixes.
As a line diagram, okay, and this is a cross-section of a bract.
Now on some of these plants too, there's something called pre-flowers that form. Sometimes 8 to 12 weeks into the veg cycle, you can look 3 or 4 sets of branches down from the top. Hey, wait a second, I'm not even smoking joints. I'm talking.
We need real cannabis dispensaries. Many patients who use cannabis as a medicine need access. You're taking the medicine away from sick and dying people.
Let's overgrow the government. Let's have more marijuana than they can ever stop.
But while you sit here enjoying this, remember those who are in prison this moment, locked away from their loved ones, locked away from their friends, and that could be you.
Just want to say thanks for watching Pot TV. You can't get higher on the net.